Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Toll Free Rider. I'm here in my hometown in a beautiful evening, a rather special evening I should say, because this is the Kerala's first BS6 INTERCEPTOR which I bought recently, and we are doing a complete review of this bike today. I wanted to do this review when I was riding back home from Kochi, and then I thought I should know the bike more, and then only I should convey what is all about this bike after a good ride and everything through the highways and the off-roads and the cities and the small roads and the cornering, everything. So I have almost rode 700 kilometers, and I just want to give you a good detail of this bike, how it performs, where all it lacks somewhere and here. I thought I can tell you this by now, and this is a complete review of Royal Enfield Interceptor 650 of 2020 BS6 model. I have rode my Interceptor about 700 kilometers, and there are some issues which I face, like the seat is very soft and it gives the rider a pain in the back when they are riding for a long distance. For a short distance it is fine, but when you start riding it for an hour or 2 hours, you start feeling a bit pain in the back. And the power delivery is, as I said, good, linear, and the Interceptor can take you up to 160 kilometers per hour easily, and you can cruise the Interceptor at 110-120 kilometers per hour in a very smooth way throughout the whole day, and it never gives you any vibration or any such kind of the Royal Enfield which you have experienced before. Because Interceptor doesn't have any vibration, should I say, according to a Royal Enfield owner. I have been a Royal Enfield classic owner for the past 4 years plus, and I should say, compared to other Royal Enfield, the Interceptor doesn't feel any vibration, but it has a small vibration when you cross 120 kilometers per hour, which you really need to feel the raw mechanic feel of a bike, and it gives you a very good feel of riding. When you start riding an Interceptor, you feel that punchy engine of 650cc, and the main attraction is that the power kicks in at 2500 rpm, as low as 2500 rpm, and you can just throttle the bike and get away from where you are as quick as possible, and it gives you a nice feel and a smile on your face while you are throttling your bike. And if you want to, all of a sudden, if you want to overtake a big truck or something and you are at a 40 or a 60, and you just have to twist the accelerator and the bike just kicks in like anything, and that's a wonderful feeling. The special thing about Interceptor or a Continental GT is that it has a 270-degree firing angle, and you are not getting the thump of Royal Enfield, which usually had the tuk 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 sound. Now it has more of a racing bike sound, which I can show you. So the Interceptor has a 275-degree firing angle, and you get this note when you switch on, and believe me, it's a wonderful exhaust note. To say, Interceptor now comes with a clear headlight glass. And this is the first Royal Enfield bike to get a clear glass of headlights. As you all know, Royal Enfield never disappoint us with the commanding position of its riding, and Interceptor is no different. It gives a good commanding position in the roads, and the visibility and everything is very good as in other Royal Enfield. It's a heavy bike actually. It's really a heavy bike which weighs almost about 220 kilograms, and for a tall passenger like me, who is about 6 feet tall, doesn't have an issue when riding. And Interceptor comes with a 6-speed gearbox and a slipper clutch, which they say it's very easy to drive in a traffic or something, but I didn't feel much. The slipper clutch can be a bit more soft, and this feels somewhat hard when you drive in cities and traffic to traffic a bit. Compared to other Royal Enfield, it's not a big deal, but when you compare to other slipper clutch in other segment of bikes like 300, 390 Duke and any other, then you will start feeling that the slipper clutch could have been more soft. And if I have to say about the brakes of Interceptor 650 is wonderful, and it comes with the brakes are by Brembo, which is by Brembo, the short form for the by Brembo. And as you all know, Brembo brakes are awesome, and the Interceptor is nevertheless, it has a very good braking, and the Pirelli tires really helps in braking, and the Pirelli tires really helps in the road grips and everything. I have done cornering and everything in my hometown road, which is a hilly area, and I didn't feel any wobbling issues or anything while cornering or while crossing 120, 130. Interceptor has a very high seat height, which is 804 mm, and for a tall passenger like me, it doesn't have an issue while sitting, but a short passenger who is about 5'5" or 5'6" will have a small issue while turning the bikes, because this foot pegs come in the way, and it really disturbs when you are moving around the cities or a traffic. And this is the only issue which I see. And you are sitting in a very good upright position where your legs is straight and your body is straight, and you don't find any issue while riding the bike, and you get a very good commanding position and a very good view of the road. But the thing is that as you are sitting upright position, the wind blast when you cross 100 kilometers or 120 kilometers, the wind blast really makes you push backwards, and it really makes the riding position a bit more problem. And you are sitting in a very good triangle, which you can see is this, in a very upright position triangle. As we have said, the Interceptor is a very good bike for the one who ride it, but not a very good bike for the one who travel alone, the pillion, because the higher foot pegs really make the pillion passenger to sit, to keep their leg very high. And as you can see, if the rider sits here and if he's riding, the pillion gets only this much part of the seat, and it's not a very cushioned seat, and it's not very comfortable ride when you are having a pillion. And the pillion footrest really is really high, and you get pain somewhere in this part, and it's not a very good feeling, as I have traveled almost 100-150 kilometers as a pillion in this bike, and it is not a very good feeling. When you ride the Interceptor for a long distance or in a city, there might be a chance where you will encounter the heating issue of the Royal Enfield, but it is not as high as you have seen in other Royal Enfield, and where you will feel the heat mostly in this part of your body, the under thigh, and as this is an air cooled engine, it really gets heat up in some point of time. But compared to other Royal Enfield bikes, I really think this is a very good bike. And as I said, I have crossed 700 kilometers. I have done my first service in this bike, for this bike, and it cost almost 3,000 rupees for the first service. And I think you will have to spend almost 3,000 rupees to 4,000 rupees in between 4,000 to 5,000 rupees for every service you have doing. But comparatively, the service cost is very low when you compare to other 650cc engine or some 500cc engine or 650cc engine. It is very low compared to other motorcycles. Nothing. Interceptor has a very basic meters, which is a speed meter here and a tachometer here, and you can get a odometer here which shows the total kilometers and trip A and trip B, and there is a fuel meter in this which usually shows you a wrong fuel details. Maybe it will show you 5 bars, and after 10 kilometers it will suddenly dip to 2 bars or something. And if I have to say about the engine is very good, and the gearbox is very good. But when you ride the motorcycle in a very speed, or in a highway, cruising in a highway, you might have to encounter with a false neutral. When I was riding all the way from Kochi to my home, I had to encounter a false neutral 5 or 6 times, and I really wanted to tell you that this is a good gearbox and a very good engine and everything. I'm very happy with the engine, by the way, but the gearbox gave me almost 7 to 8 false neutral, which is not at all good for a bike which costs this much. The Interceptor really has a wide exhaust pipe, and it can get a bit problem when you are riding in a traffic, because you won't be knowing how big is the back side of the bike. And for those who are new to this bike, will have a problem when they are riding through the traffics and everything. And for cornering, this bike is wonderful. As I said, the Pirelli tires really helps, and the torque of the engine and everything is really helps when you are cornering, and it's a very good bike. Let's go for a spin with the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650.